Put on a happy face. Why? Because the trailer for the Joker sequel dropped.
Cause I've been living life right like I could just die any minute. Going for a ride down the side.
Hi everyone, my name is Jacob Berry. Welcome to the Studio Jake Vidcast, where I talk about all things pop culture. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. If you'd like to support the channel, you can in my locals community. The link is in the description. All right, so it's true. We finally have the Joker trailer, and it's very interesting. It doesn't really give much in the way of plot. It just features like a lot of vignettes of Arthur Fleck being the Joker, of him meeting Harley Quinn, who is played by Lady Gaga in this. We see him talking to one of the Arkham doctors at one point. We see a lot of what looks to me like imaginary moments in Arthur's head, and it finally just cascades into the Joker and then that dumb French name that it has instead of just Joker 2 or Return of the Joker or whatever. But by the way, I'm going to be referring to the film as Joker 2. But it looks pretty good. Now, before I break it down, I have to say, Jester Bell, she's a good friend. She's a friend of the show. I've been on her live stream several times. She beat me to this, but I'm still going to go for it because there is one difference between me and Jester Bell. I actually watched Harley Quinn's first appearance in Joker's favor when the episode was new. So I'm going to go into this. And of course, Harley Quinn was created by Bruce Timm, Paul Dini, and Alan Burnett, who worked on Batman the Animated Series, where she had her debut. Now, basically, the Joker has always been tied to Batman, and Harley Quinn has always been tied to the Joker. In the comic books, one of the writers decided, hey, you know what? Deadpool's really popular. Why don't we make Harley Quinn sort of like a Deadpool knockoff? And they did this. That's when she broke up with the Joker. They gave her several lamer costumes than her typical Harlequin outfit. And then Margot Robbie's portrayal of Harley Quinn from that perspective in Suicide Squad and Harley Quinn Birds of Prey. I'm not going to call it by its long dumb name. The two of them, those two movies kind of sealed the fate on this. They kept removing her further and further away from the Joker. And they kind of baited you with Suicide Squad, then they tore it up to pieces with Harley Quinn Birds of Prey, and then the Joker's barely even mentioned in the Suicide Squad, which, sort of the trilogy of Harley Quinn appearances. And, you know, because of that, her character has kind of, like I said, just become a knockoff Deadpool. If they wanted to knock off Deadpool, I don't know why they didn't just use the Creeper, who was kind of already set up to be that way, or why they didn't just use Booster Gold. No one really likes Booster Gold anyway. They could have made it where all his time traveling has made him kind of go insane, and like his conversations with Skeet, which is his little AI that follows him around, that could be sort of his knockoff wall breaking. But neither here nor there with that. Since the separation of that, several new types of Harley Quinn have come on. Of course, the adult animated series, which is ridiculous. The first season I didn't mind. I thought it was fine. It was a pretty good parody of DC Comics, but then it kept getting more and more serious. It wanted to be taken seriously until you have Batman causing a zombie apocalypse. That's when I was like, I'm not coming back to this show. This is stupid. Stupid. And it's kind of sad to watch though, because also they try to do this thing with Poison Ivy. They try to hook Harley up with Poison Ivy, which a lot of people don't remember in the comics. Whenever she hooks up with Poison Ivy is just as abusive to her as the Joker. But oh no, we're not allowed to talk about that. But I think it's silly. With this movie, with Joker 2, it looks like they are taking inspiration from her earlier appearances in Batman the Animated Series. Now, it doesn't seem to me that there's a huge hint that she's an Arkham doctor. What I'm guessing is they're going to make it where she is somehow connected to Arthur Fleck through entertainment. And his movement from the first film inspires her. So then she goes to see him, and he kind of like falls in love with her, and slowly they get pulled into each other's worlds. That's what I think, because there's a lot of in the trailer. There's a lot of scenes where they're dancing together, and and like I said, I think some of them are going to be their imaginations, and they're going to have a shared psychosis, and they're going to kind of become like a Bonnie and Clyde type situation, a more insane Bonnie and Clyde. Now, I hope that, because this is one of the things that I thought was interesting. Apparently, Warner Brothers had forced the Batman connections to be in the first one, which, by the way, Todd Phillips directed that one. He's returning for Joker 2. He's um, they had forced that connection with Thomas Wayne and then Bruce, and then spoiler alert, in the conclusion of the first film, we witness the murder of Thomas and Martha Wayne. Now, what I think is going to happen is, hopefully, depending on how many years this takes place after the first one, we'll get another Batman hint. Like, maybe we'll see, oh, Bruce Wayne, the young heir to the Wayne Empire, has vanished. We don't know where he is, and that kind of hints that he's off training. And then if they decide to do a third one, if they decide to go full trilogy with this, then it's Batman and the Joker meet. Now, my concern with that is they're going to try to do this thing where Batman is just as crazy as the Joker. They're two sides of the same coin, blah, 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 blah. I hope they don't do that, because I'm kind of tired of that. The sort of 2010s writers started to do this, because instead of writing actually good stories, they just write their therapy notes and then personify them in whatever comic book they're writing. And so that's happened a lot in Batman comic books recently. It's very disappointing to see all of these writers go that route. It's very dumb, it's very uninspired, creatively bankrupt, quite frankly. And I hope they don't do that. That's what's happening a lot with Batman comics in particular these days. I hope that instead they will sit down and decide, okay, this needs to be a battle between good and evil. And I hope that it takes that step forward, should they decide to do a third one where the Joker meets the Batman. I would like to see that. As for Joker 2, I have to say the trailer hyped me for it. I haven't been this hyped for a comic book film in a long time. It looks good. Lady Gaga looks good as Harley Quinn. And I would like to say, this might be controversial, I think this one movie, she is going to be better than Margot Robbie in all three of her films combined. And that's not an insult to Margot Robbie. She's a very talented actress, but she just wasn't. She, on paper, she was right, but the Suicide Squad set her character up for failure. And then Margot Robbie, instead of trying to course correct with Harley Quinn Birds of Prey, because she was active in that film, it wasn't just that she got a paycheck in return. She produced it. She had a hand in, rumors are she had a hand in directing it. She had a hand in the script a little bit. So she doubled down on that. And the Suicide Squad tried to redeem her a little bit, but that it didn't really fall flat, because again, she was separated from the Joker. So I think that Lady Gaga stepping up to the plate will be good. I love watching Lady Gaga. She went from the singer who would appear at award shows in dresses made of raw meat to a very fine actress who has started to take her role in entertainment seriously, and I applaud her for that. For that evolution, that is fantastic, and that's why I think she'll be a good Harley Quinn. She kind of matches with Harley Quinn anyway, with sort of this weird persona she puts on. So I think she's going to be good. I think that it's going to come together, and hopefully Warner Brothers Discovery, because they gave this one a bigger budget than they did the first one. I hope that Todd Phillips learned the right lessons from not necessarily from the mistakes of the first one, but that he learned the right lessons from its success. Which, by the way, I have two reviews of this movie. When I was writing for the Daily Wire, I had a review from when I saw it in theaters, and then I wrote a follow-up review on my website, studiojakemedia.com, after it came out on DVD, and went more into depth of the movie after seeing it twice. So you can find both of those reviews. They're online. Just search my name and the Joker and they come up. But head over to my website, studiojakemedia.com, for the DVD release. It's more recent. I hope that this movie is good. I hope I'm not being too optimistic, but Joaquin Phoenix, he is a dynamite actor. He did a good job as the Joker for the context of that movie. And also Lady Gaga, she's incredibly talented, and I hope that we're going to get a true Joker and Harley Quinn story, something that the DCEU and perhaps the DCU has been lacking.
Cause I've been living life right like I could just die